Let's go. Welcome to Talking Trophies. I'm Raver.
I'm Damien.
And today we're doing a podcast episode. And for this episode, we decided to get our boy on, Abdifitah.
Hi everyone, I'm Abdifitah. Thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure having you on board. And Abdifitah, as always, we always say, send us topics. And if you're interested, we'll chuck you on and have a laugh and discuss different topics and see what you think about different things that are going on in the world. Before we jump into the video, but make sure you guys subscribe, like, and follow our videos. And also follow our page on Instagram just to stay updated with what we're doing. And you can stay frequent and share this around to your friends so they know what's going on with Talking Trophies. Anyways, let's jump into the first topic, Abdifitah, that you sent in. So the first topic's about respect. What's your ideas of respect and how do you feel it should be obtained? But we'll start off with what are your ideas of respect as a person, as an individual, as a man?
So before you can respect anyone, or before you can even think about respecting anything, you need to first and foremost respect yourself. So you need to respect yourself, put yourself first, because if you yourself is the foundation. So respect yourself, put yourself first, then you can move on to respecting other people. So what I think of respect, for example, looking after yourself, treating yourself, just mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. I think that's what respect is. And then from then onwards, you can start respecting other people from then onwards. And how you present yourself is how other people will treat you.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think about that?
I think I agree, but I think it's I don't know, the level of positivity you can bring out to people. I think it's a level of respect. If I'm pulling someone up, it's a positive thing. I'm pulling you up out of love. I'm pulling you up because I care about you. I think when you care about something, you have respect for it. So I think the respect is the level of care you have towards something. If you care about yourself, you're gonna respect yourself. If you care about someone, you're gonna respect them. If you care about your job, you're gonna respect your job. Same thing with everything. So I think the level of care or the level of effort you put into something is it all comes around respect. And yeah, definitely about keeping yourself healthy, all that stuff. That's respect for yourself. And then how you support your friends, how you support your family, that's respect. So yeah, that's my input.
Father cat disrespected me right now. Just moved from me to you. Yeah. You see how he just got up? You saw that, yeah, on the camera. He just got up and walked.
Doesn't respect you, right?
The cat,
it felt my aura, yeah. I got that red aura.
The cat was messing with what he was saying, so he had to pull up on.
Yeah, definitely, man. And how'd you get to that point, gaining that perspective of respect through life experiences? What were moments when you're like, okay, let's just say this guy, I really respect this person, or let's just say moments where you're like, okay, I feel like this guy's disrespecting me. So how do you feel through your personal experiences you gain that perspective on respect?
I think sometimes when you're when you have people in your life, whether it's family, friends, work, whatever it is, sometimes you put too much into people, and then you realize we always get disappointed later on because we had too much high hopes or high expectations into that person, right? The thing is, at the end of the day, people are selfish. They'll always put themselves before you or before anyone or anything. And I noticed sometimes when you give to someone too much, sometimes they pull back. And that's because maybe they probably pulled back from you because you probably didn't put yourself first in the first place. So I don't know if you guys get what I mean. But
yeah. So if you respect, from what I'm understanding, what you're saying is if you respect yourself highly,
yeah, and
you're your number one priority,
yes,
people are and pull out a positive energy from what both of you are saying. People are gonna start attracting to that.
100%.
That level of respect you have for yourself and the energy you're bringing out.
Yes.
So let's just say, hypothetically, if you are someone that's not taking care of yourself, you're always in a bad mood, or you have a bad attitude towards life. People are gonna they're not gonna respect you as highly as someone that is positive, always giving positive feedback, or when giving the honest truth. And what that does is that person that is negative, people are gonna stay away from him because it's damn, bro, every time I'm with this guy, I just feel mad or I'm just angry. You don't realize why, but you don't realize why this guy's doing this, but subconsciously it's this guy's or this girl is giving me that negative energy, and they don't respect themselves enough to have a positive look at life. And that's why I'm not going to stay with them. I'm not going to respect them as much. In contrast to someone that's really takes care of themselves. But I want to know this then. with that, because they respect themselves highly, then there's an ego thing and pride.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I feel like people that are truly respectful, no matter of how low that person is like meant to be like perceived as, they'll always have respect for them. Like someone who can like give someone money to someone that won't be able to pay them back, like that is mad respect to a person like that, because they're not expecting anything back. Like if you're doing things because you expect something back, then you're not really a respectful person, because like you're doing it for your own ambition. Like if I do this, I'm gonna get this connection later. I'm gonna get this out of it. Like if I give this person 100 when I need something, they'll do something for me. But if you care for people that can't care for you back, then like you're truly respectful of just people in general. That's my input.
I'll give you an example as well. When people say, be careful how you perceive yourself or how you talk about yourself in front of others, that's how people will see you. For example, if you say, oh, I'm so bad, I'm not good at this, people will start believing that's what you are. But if you present yourself in a positive, respectful manner, they will be more positive and respectful towards you. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Yeah.
Real quick, there's a quote by Tom Hardy, I don't know if you guys know. It went viral because I treat the janitor with the same respect as I treat the CEO of the company. Yeah. That one like went viral and stuff, you know. And like I thought for me that's like the most real thing I've ever heard. Yeah.
Because money can't buy respect. That's why.
Yeah, you find that like people hate people being the richest people are never like the most liked. You know what I'm saying? Even now, even Elon Musk at one point was the most like, bro. People loved him, and like now that because his money is out there, everyone can see how much he's doing, how wealthy he is, blah blah blah. They're like, okay, why isn't this guy doing this is for the earth? For example, why isn't he not giving back if he's got so much money? So obviously money can't buy happiness. But with what you were saying, I feel like that's one thing I gained very early. You know, like my dad worked as a cleaner from young, so as a kid, you know, and like. As a kid, you look up at your dad as like the world, you know. So when he did that role, for me, I'm like, he's still my dad, you know. He's still like, that's the man I look up to, you know. So I'm even subconsciously, whatever it is, I still have to look up to my father, you know. That's my father figure. So what I learned from there was, I'm like, yo, it doesn't matter who you are, what you work. It's like, whether you're a CEO, whether you're a garbage man, whatever you do, whether you're a lawyer, you're an accountant. It's all about the person individually. You judge them. You don't judge a person based on their job or their salary. You judge them on who they are, their character, because that's the first thing. Because there's a lot of wealthy people that no one likes.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of people in high positions that no one likes. What you might respect, you might see is people like sucking up to them, or like trying to be around them, but they're doing that out of personal interest as well. They're not doing that out of like, I want to be in this person's surroundings, for example, because they're gonna benefit me, like. Personally, I want to get there so I can get to the top. So it's just, and that's why I feel like you see in this Western world where it's like just a rat race, and this sense of respect is just artificial now.
Also, another thing, you can respect a way a person goes about things, but you might not like them. Does that make sense? So, for example, let's just say I don't like you personally because you did something wrong or you went about something really bad. But for example, how you conduct yourself, how you go about your business, how you go about your life, I respect that. So for example, even within respect itself, if you go too deep into it, for example, you might respect something about someone, but you might not actually respect them as a person because maybe they did you wrong or something in the past. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's people in your life you're like, you just don't like them, but you're like, damn, bro, they're good at this.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You respect them.
Like, I feel like it was like, even like Cristiano Ronaldo in soccer.
Yeah.
Everyone hated him. Remember at one point he was the most hated. But you're just like, damn, this guy's actually a beast, bro. Yeah. So like, I feel like it's just like in situations like that where people don't respect you, you just gotta keep grinding it out. Yeah. What are you gonna say?
But you take the respect over the popularity anyway. Like being the fan favorite it doesn't mean you're the best player. Like I think like it's not always about like how many people exactly like you. It's just how you present yourself in the meantime, or how hard you're working to do stuff. Like if you're grinding and going all out, taking care of your family, being the best person you can to your friends, your close circle, then like no matter what other people say, you're still gonna have that respect, even if they don't like you as a person.
I feel like there's so many people like that. Like they're like the unsung heroes. That's what I call them. Like people you just like. I go like, let's just say if I go to another area, you know, there's someone like I don't know them, but you just see like everyone's around them. They're just like that open person. They're nice. They're helping people out. You know what I mean? Like for example, in our area, it's like Barry, our cousin Barry. You know, no one. If you're not from this area, you won't know him. But like when you're in this area, he helps out the youngsters getting jobs. He helps out. This is this guy's brother. It's our cameraman's brother. It's our cousin. So this guy, he runs a business. He runs a business to community business, not for profit. Hasn't taken a dime from it. Like just out of like, he just does it for the sake of it. Yeah. And at the start, people weren't like. I remember like 5-6 years ago, people didn't realize what he was doing. But then as time comes, now like he's starting to get that recognition for who he is. So it's just maybe like just stay humble, do what you want, huh? Hotline buzzing, yeah, man. Everyone's calling him this, that, telling him, oh, can you come help us, this, that, because they realize the purity out of it, Yeah. And I feel like if you stay to yourself, people start to respect you, because when they see you respecting yourself and doing your best in this world as much as you can, and even if you change the life of the people around you, the close people around you, you're changing the world. Yeah. In a way.
Yeah. It's I'll give you another example. For example, if you let's just say you meet someone for the first time, and I'm not saying disrespect them or don't respect them, but let's just say if you respect someone more than you respect your own self, that person will like it in the beginning, they'll like it, they'll enjoy it, it's nice, whatever, but they're just going to walk away, or they're going to mistreat you because you don't put that respect into yourself in the first place. So, like I said, put all that respect and love into yourself first before you can give it to anyone else, because even people themselves will see that, this guy's not respecting themselves eventually, and it's not because they're doing it on purpose, it's just subconsciously they see that you're not respecting yourself. They slowly start to drift away from you, or they slowly start to lose respect for you because you don't even have that respect for your own self. Yeah.
And even if there's people like, let's just say in that person, how you said that person meets you, and then they start liking you at the start. Yeah. It's better to have it from the get-go, you being you, and them appreciating you for who you are, or them not liking you for who you are.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah.
I reckon that was nice, bro. You want to do the quick quiz on this bloke? So we got a segment called How Aussie Are You? We're going to do on our guest. Right, we got to ask him some questions about Australia, and we're going to time you. So we got this game idea from our boys at Free Parking, and we just want to see how well do you know Australia, mate.
All right.
And before we get started, mate, just to let you know, any questions you do get wrong, mate, we're going to have to send you back to where you came from, buddy.
All right? You're getting deported back home.
You're getting deported back home, all right? About Australia, all right?
Right, let's
They're
go.
pretty easy. Some of them might be a bit tricky, mate, but let's see how you go, all right? Ready, set, go. First question. How many states are there in Australia?
6. 7.
Yes. Who's the first Prime Minister?
No idea. Bob Hawke. No.
Ooh, nah.
No. I don't know.
3, 2, 1. Who is the current Prime Minister?
Scott Morrison.
Ooh. What year did Guy Sebastian win the Australian Idol?
How am I supposed to know that?
Guys, you get in time. You got a minute 30.
Who's the
No, you can pass or stay.
Do you want to pass or do you want to stay on it?
Pass.
Alright. Who's world known for saying karaoke?
Steve Irwin.
Yes, sir. Which is our national sport?
AFL.
Yes, sir. Name 2 native Australian animals.
Kangaroo and platypus.
Alright, what is the most iconic Australian movie?
Australian movie.
7 seconds, mate.
Kangaroo Jack.
Nah, man.
3.
It's in America.
Are there more
What?
kangaroos
Done.
or humans?
Done.
Kangaroos.
Done.
Yes, sir.
How many questions did he get right?
Alright, he got, let's see, 1, 2, 3.
How am I supposed to know
4.
about Guy Sebastian, bro?
He got 5 out of 10. He got 50%.
Look, you're 50% Aussie, mate.
But unfortunately, mate, it requires a 75% rate of right answers to be accepted into our home nation of Australia.
It is a pass, so he's still Aussie.
It's a pass. It's over 50.
You're still Australian, mate.
Alright.
Hey.
Done.
Let's jump over to our next topic. It's similar to the first topic, and I feel like it leads in a way into it. So the next topic is, should we really care what people think about us and why? So you can explain that.
The short answer, no. We shouldn't care what people think. Because you could be perfect and people will still think negative of you. Yeah. You could do 99 things so well and so good, and you'll make one little mistake and people will still focus on that one little thing. So don't worry about what people think, and do the right thing for yourself, and just keep going and doing you.
Yeah.
Shouldn't care about what people think, because people don't appreciate, people don't know the struggles you went through, so people don't really care. At the end of the day, you shouldn't worry about what people think of you. It's very, very simple like that.
What about you? What do you think about that?
You shouldn't care what people think, but you should care what people see. I think like what people see in you when you're out there, like that's what you should care about. Because whatever you present yourself as, like they're gonna like you if you're being genuine. People like authenticity. Like people don't like when people are being fake. Like I don't know. I think people vibe and like they feel good when you're around someone. Like how good do you feel when you're around someone who's just they're so transparent. You just know who they are. Like they're so plain, but like when someone's a bit shady, you don't know what they're like. You get sus on them. That's when like you start thinking about someone. But the only times I think you should care about what people think is like just general stuff. Like for example, like talking trophies. Like we care what like people that watch our show. Like we care about like what they think of our show. But like us as me as a person, generally I don't care what like you think. Like that's me, cause like I don't care, cause like I give you what you can see. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, it is what it is. Like make a review. I don't know. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, but on that, what about like people that care about you, your family?
I was gonna come to that actually. Yeah.
Your close friends, people that are gonna say stuff to you. For example, in ways that it's like, hey, I really care about you.
Yeah.
This is what you're doing is wrong here. Whether you are doing right or wrong. Let's just say you want to start a business, and one of your boys comes to you, homeboy for life, and tells you, hey, listen, my honest opinion is this. Will you take what he says, or you be like, this is my dream, I'm gonna go with it? In a way, like.
Well, give me an example. It depends what they say.
Okay, let's just say I started this. Me and my cousins, we started this together.
Yep.
I have a friend that comes to me and goes to me, hey, cuz, like on the real, I feel like you shouldn't touch on certain topics. So this is an experience I've had.
Okay.
Yeah. My friend came to me and told me, hey, you shouldn't really touch on these topics just because of the harm it might bring to you. Okay?
Okay.
I took that feedback in, and then I'm like, I could have been like, oh, I don't really care, whatever, I'm just trying to be free. I took that feedback in and spoke to my cousins about it. And I'm like, oh, you know what? Yeah, let's not touch on certain topics that are too sensitive. But if the time comes, we'll touch on it. If the time comes when we like, it's like,
When
what,
you're
let's go have a
comfortable.
talk. Let's
Yeah.
have a discussion about it. But because I took in what that person told me, because I care about what they think. You know what I'm saying? Or let's just say I'm doing something wrong. I know it's wrong, but I don't know. When you're doing something wrong, but you don't know you're doing something wrong? And then let's just say your parents come to you and they're like, listen, pull up on this. Do you care what they think?
I care about what my parents think, 100%. I do, because at the end of the day, your parents, they love you, and they're genuine, right? And what they think is very, very important, because at the end of the day, they want what's best for you. So I'm not saying they're perfect. Sometimes even our parents make mistakes, right? But let's just say you did something, or you went somewhere, or you're hanging out with a particular person, especially our mums. Like your mum knows if you have a good friend or a bad friend. They just know it somehow. Yeah. So, for example, let's just say you're hanging out with this guy, and your mum kind of knows what he gets up to and stuff. And your mum says to you, "Son, stay away from this person. I don't want you hanging out with them." You shouldn't be like, "Oh, I don't care what my mum thinks." You should care, because that's your mum. Because at the end of the day, she wants what's best for you. Now that's different compared to what other people think. For example, let's just say you started a business, or you want to start a business, and someone's telling you, "Oh, bro, I don't think you should do this," or maybe it's hard. That's just them trying to talk you down. It's not them caring. It's them not wanting for you to do good for yourself. There's a difference. In that instance, you shouldn't care. But when it comes to your mum or your dad, or your loved ones, if you're married, your wife or your husband, you should care what they think, because 99% of the time they want what's best for you.
Yeah.
That 1% of the time, I'm not saying they don't want what's best for you. Sometimes they don't perceive it the right way.
They can't see it from your perspective.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think about that? So, with the people that do care about you, that do respect you, that your loved ones or your friends coming to you and telling you, hey, look, just have this, not even telling you what to do, just giving their opinion.
Yeah, I always care about people's opinions. Like, it's cool. Like, let me know your opinion. But I suppose I think it just depends on me, like how I feel about it. For example, like if we were to go to like, say like someone in the family and tell them about like, yeah, we got this idea talking trophies, this is that, they'll probably be like, they will say the good things about it, but then they'll be like, be careful of this. And I take that in, and like when it's family and people you care about, you take that in. But I think like if it's a stranger, I don't really care. But like when it comes to the family, I think like I always gotta listen in, because like that's also me having like respect for them too, taking in their advice, listening to them, seeing what I can do about it. And I think like how I take that in and what I do about it is like shows my care for them too.
Like I'll give you an example with me. If someone close to me is doing something, whatever it is, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I give credit where it's due, and I give criticism where it's also due. So if you're doing something wrong, I'm very straightforward. I'll say to you.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm always know about you, is like the fact how straightforward you are.
Yeah, I'm very
the
straightforward.
Thing is, one thing even is because I want to add this just before you say your point, because you are someone, even in general, you're not scared to show your opinion.
No,
you always share your opinion, no matter whether it's right, wrong, whether it's modern, backwards, whatever you think. At that moment, you always like sharing your opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I feel like it's a good topic.
Yeah.
There are times you say, let's just say you post something of your opinion. You say, I don't believe this is right, or I don't believe this is wrong.
Yeah.
And someone gives you their criticism.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just say because I don't know, there's some things where I feel you say like you share in a way conservative.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You can have conservative views.
Yeah.
What do you do when someone comes with let's just say a more liberal idea, or a more modern, they'd say modern idea is, and let's just say they message you about your story, and they're like, hey, I didn't like what you said, Abdifitah, and then they share your opinions, their opinion, bang, 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 dot points.
That's fine, because at the end of the day, no two people are exactly the same. We're always, like for example, you and your brother, from the same household, same mum and dad, you're still going to be two completely different people. Nothing about you is going to be exactly the same. So I respect people that actually approach me and say, hey, I don't agree with this. I think it's A, B, and C. That's fine. I completely respect you, but I respect your views. You respect my views, and we can get along while we respect each other's views. Like, if I say, because me, at the end of the day, if I say something, I 100% believe in that. But at the same time, I'm also open-minded. So I don't think that I'm always right. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. So if I say something, I'm open to listening to you. But if it's something that I know 110%, I know what this topic is about, I'm not gonna take into account what you're saying, but I'll still respect it. I'm not gonna be like, I'm above you and you're below me. No, I don't care. I still respect you at the end of the day, and I respect the fact that you approached me and spoke to me about it. I respect people that approach me and tell me, hey, I don't agree with this. It's A, B, and C.
Yeah. Have you ever had a moment where like, because you said like you're very passionate when someone like challenges your views almost.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a moment where your views may have been altered or changed through that like debate or like?
Ooh.
Just have a think about that.
This guy, I know.
To be honest with you, I don't think I can remember a time. Nah, I don't think so.
But is that a reflection, maybe, of not being open-minded, maybe in a way? You said you're open-minded, but
I am open-minded.
Because I've had circumstances where I've done, even publicly, I've done it on this too, where someone said something to me and I'm like, you know what, you are right in a way, and I admitted it. I'm like, okay, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Like, do you have those moments? Let's just say.
Maybe not views, but maybe something that I've done. For example, if I do something wrong and someone actually approaches me and says, hey, Abdifitah, you did this and it wasn't right. And for example, I felt this way about it. To trust me, I would respect that. Yeah. I respect someone who actually tells me you did this wrong and the way to go about it is so and so and so. Yeah. I respect that. If I do something wrong and you approach me and you say you did something wrong, I will stop, pause, reflect, and try and fix my ways, and then tell them, hey, I appreciate you coming to me about it. Because sometimes you might, for example, you might be better than me at something that I'm really bad at, and I might be good at something you're really bad at. Sometimes if I do something, you might say to me, you might know better than me. I might not realize what I'm doing is wrong until somebody actually comes up to me and tells me, hey, you did this wrong. Yeah. So that's why I respect that, because everyone is different. Everybody thinks and perceives things differently. Yeah.
So you should care in a way then of what people think about you.
In a way, yes. But if it's to do with, for example, if you know what you're doing is very good, let's just say you're going to the gym, you're eating the right food, you know, you're trying to stay, you know, trying to be religious, you're trying to look after yourself, trying to look after yourself in every way, and people are saying to you, oh, no, I don't think you should do this. In that circumstances, you shouldn't care what they think.
Yeah.
Because if you know what you're doing is right for yourself,
Yeah.
and people are telling you, you know, so and so, you shouldn't care. You shouldn't care.
I feel like no matter what you do, there's always someone that's gonna have something like oppose it. Like if you work too much, you work too much. You go gym, you're not like taking care of your emotional health. If you're too invested in your emotional health, you're too emotional. If you, there's always gonna be someone like.
No matter how perfect you are,
yeah,
as you wanna say.
And going back to the point that I was making, like I said, I'm very straightforward, right? So
Yeah.
if I have something nice to say, like a compliment, I'll say it to you. And if I have something like a criticism, and criticisms aren't bad. Constructive criticism is not a bad thing. That's that's a feedback, right?
Yeah.
Even companies do that. They ask people for feedback. Why? Because they want to improve themselves. So I'm that type of person. If I care about you, I will tell you what you did. For example, if it was something good, I'll say to you, hey, you did a good job. Keep it up. And if you did something bad, I'm not going to talk down on you. I'm going to say to you, hey, look, I think you made a mistake. This is my personal opinion. I don't put my opinion onto them and say to them, oh, you have to do it this way. No, everyone does things differently. I will say to them, in my opinion, you did this way, and I think you could have done it in this way. Would have been a lot better for you. But that's just me.
You know what it is too? When caring about what people think it's about you, it's how they approach you, how they give you that feedback.
Oh, yeah.
There's a difference between someone that cares for you, like let's just say you stuffed up, and you're my friend. I'm going to come to you and I'll be like, hey, cuz, on the real, I feel like you did this wrong. And I reckon if you did it this way, you can improve. You take that feedback in, and I did it genuinely in a way to you. So I want you to benefit. So the way I approached you is in a private way too. Even if when someone gives you feedback, like for me, I only take like let's just say I take solid feedback. Like I can take solid criticism off a handful of people because I know these handful want to benefit me. Like they genuinely, out of everything, they want me to succeed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Their heart's there for it. Yeah. Then there's people that, like, let's just say they have knowledge, just to say, in a certain topic, as you said, and they give me feedback. I'm happy to take that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But then there's people, when you do a wrong, they want to give you they give you feedback, but it's not, their heart's not in the right place.
Oh yeah.
Kazi, bro, you stuffed up. They'll say it to you in front of 5 people in an informal way. You're not benefiting from it. Yeah. It's more of an embarrassment thing. Yeah. They don't wish the best for you, you know? In comparison to someone that comes to you and be like, hey, listen, you know, you're my boy. I look out for you. I want you to improve. So this is the feedback I'm going to give you on this. Yeah. So that's very...
Going back to that one, especially, you know, coming from like an African background, let's just say, you know, you're in the area and, you know, an uncle or an auntie sees you. Some of them, depending on what it is, whether it's bad or whether it's, you know, whatever it is, some, you know, uncles and aunties, you know, they'll roast you in front of people, you know, oh, what is this? And what are you doing? Or what it is. But in my opinion, if they genuinely care about you, they'll pull you to the side and they'll speak to you in private. Trust me. I've seen people, and it's also happened to me, like, you know, an uncle or auntie from the area will pull me to the side and say, you know, hey, I think you should, you know, do this. I don't think this is the right thing, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. Trust me, I respect that. But if you roast me in front of people and you say, oh, you know, you shouldn't have done this, shouldn't have that, I lose respect for you on that spot straight away.
You know what I call them?
You didn't have to do me dirty in front of people like that.
Don't want to call them the Karen aunties and uncles. The Karen African aunties and uncles. We all know those ones that just roast you in front of everyone. They like to gossip about you. Yeah. Every African family has one. Yeah. But at the same time, they feel like they're doing right at the same time.
That's the thing.
That's the problem.
Their intention isn't actually like, oh, I'm going to embarrass him in front of everyone.
Yeah. But it's wrong how they go about it, definitely.
I don't think they intend and say, oh, let me go embarrass him today. Yeah, exactly. No, they don't. It's not their intentions. But what they do, their actions, that's what it's saying. They're embarrassing you.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
That was interesting, man, how we actually went into that.
But I think that's... I don't have a mic, but if you can mic like that, I feel like it's a reflection of how they were raised as well. Yes. I think back home too is the saying, you know, the village raises you, you know. Yeah. A child raised by the village. I feel like they're used to being put on the spot back home if they ever got caught or something.
They have no filter. They don't care. They have no filter.
Exactly, man. So I understand why. I used to be like, trust me, for me, I used to hate them so much. I used to be like, this guy or this lady or this guy, you know. Yeah. And I realized like some of them are just wafflers. Like they're just trying there to have just to aerate and waste time. Yeah. Some actually have good intention for you, but they don't know the way about it. Go around about it, you know.
Yeah.
So yes, it's
Yeah, I
my
feel like
piece.
here too, we're a bit too sensitive. Like we can't take the criticism, especially first generations coming here.
You can't be
We get
emotional,
bashed
man.
very quick, you know. Like I got relatives, they used to put me on the spot, and I was fine with it. Like I don't know, I just am like, it's my uncle and auntie. Let's just say, if my uncle hit me as a kid, let's just say, like, caring about what people think.
Yeah.
If your uncle hits you on the spot, I used to go complain to my mom,
Punch the air.
and my dad, or let's just say, and they'll tell me good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, in that, like, it's just like they were raised, that generation was raised where everyone's their parent, as Shan was saying, raised by the village.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's more like we can't take criticism, we can't take it, we're too emotional, this, that. So if someone does come to you with good criticism and they come to you in a good way and they want you to improve, definitely take it.
Yeah.
And care what they think about you. Because in a way that comes to the respect, because of them coming to you in that way and approaching you, they respect you. And they say they believe your standard is higher than what you were doing at that time. And they're like, you know what, this guy went below, or this girl went below their standards. Because I respect them, let me give them this advice so they can go back to being that high level of respect we had for them prior.
And one thing I want to add to that.
What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at, cuz?
Don't do it.
Say it, cuz. No filter, cuz.
No, I'll say it soon.
Say it,
I'll say it in time. I promise you. I'll say it in time.
Nah.
I
Bro,
promise
if you don't
you.
say it now, you're gonna forget later
Nah, I
on.
promise
Say
you.
it.
I'm remembering it. Trust me. I promise you.
Because we're going to go to the next topic.
Exactly. Give me it. Yeah.
I was gonna add to that as well. Is even in bad situations, even in negative situations, you can always take the positive out of that. For example, let's just say 99% of this was bad, and there's always that 1% good you can take from it. So, for example, if someone approaches you and they roast you and they say, hey, you did this or you did that, and let's just say they roast you in front of a bunch of like the community or something, don't react, don't get upset, don't get emotional, don't give them that satisfaction, but go home, reflect on yourself, think about it, and say to yourself, I'm gonna change. Like genuinely think about it. If you did something wrong and they were actually honest about it, but they did it the wrong way, go home, reflect, think about it, and say to yourself, I'm gonna do the right thing now for myself. This comes back to the whole respect thing. If you do it for yourself, then fine. But if you're doing it because I don't want to get roasted again, you're probably gonna fall back into that again. So take the positive from the even the bad situations. You can always take the positive out of it.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll jump over to
Just before that,
Now hear him. Yeah.
just want to thank our sponsor real quick for this. No, it's good.
And was that what you were thinking about the whole time?
Bro, I sat there and I just thought about it.
Brother, nigga, this guy I thought it was going to be something way better, bro.
That's why I said don't worry about it.
I thought it was a thing. But hey, make sure you do subscribe, like, and follow our pages. Give us a support. We are providing content, reliable content, consistent content. So make sure to suss it out. And
Before we move on to the next topic, let me just go back to what people care about. Should we care about what people think, right? And the whole respect thing.
well, you're gonna tell me don't let people subscribe and stuff.
No. Like this is just my own personal views and opinions, right? As a Muslim, we follow the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? And we believe him. I believe him to be, and we all should believe him to be, the number one role model for us, and because he is. He copped a lot of criticism. Do you think he would have carried out his mission if he cared too much about what people thought? His own uncle said to him stop, and he didn't stop.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't care. Like we shouldn't care what people think, because if you care too much, sometimes it sort of distracts you from your mission. If that makes sense.
And he believed fully that he was right. That's why in that circumstance, he genuinely believed that his mission was right.
Yeah.
And that's why he kept going with it.
Yeah.
So if you do believe in something, what you're doing is completely right,
Mm.
and with your heart, and there's nothing else that like in comparison to that, you go ahead with your mission.
Exactly.
As a Muslim too, I believe that as well. Despite all that happened to him, he still showed them so much respect. Like, even as his family members, like the respect was never gone for them.
Yeah. So take their opinion, criticism, whatever they do, but
learn from it.
Learn from it and respect them too.
Yeah.
Even if it's wrong, whatever, you just respect them, show your respect. Let's jump over to our last topic.
Yep.
What are you gonna say, cuz?
Talking trophies or
Dawah? Talking trophies or dawah, brother? You can join follow Abdifitah on Instagram for further religious advice on the religion of Islam. Mate, Sharia law should prevail in this nation. Let's get the Islam going around here, fellas. But yeah, no, definitely. I see from the experience.
Yeah.
You're right. You're not wrong about that. Like.
But even with other people, look at for example, like, sports players or, famous people, whatever. Do you think if they cared too much about what people thought, they would have reached their goal? Of course not.
You won't. Yeah.
Of course
to
not.
be great, you gotta believe in yourself.
Exactly.
Well. There is an element of that.
Exactly.
But yeah, definitely. If you do want to check out any further tips on Islam, just follow up on our Instagram. We'll have his descriptions down below. But we'll jump over to the next topic. The last one you sent through, these are great topics too that you sent through. Went through. These are like 3 of the 7 you probably sent through.
Yeah.
So they're great topics. The last one is how you deal with stress.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you want to start it off for this one? I reckon.
Yeah. How do I deal with stress? I think you gotta do things you enjoy, like things that you gotta find things that you can put your heart into, and you can just find. Life.
Open a couple bevs, open up
a couple bevs, mate. Nah, I think how do you deal with stress? I think it's what you do in your alone time. Things that you can't just have other people cater you for. Like, for example, me, I do dance. I love dancing. So if I'm stressed, I just find pure enjoyment in just putting on a hype song and just turning up in my own room. But what are you gonna say, bro? Why are you smoking?
No, I was gonna say when you're stressed out, you just chuck on some 2005 Brooklyn and start crumping.
Nah, I do the airbending moves. Nah, but yeah, I think what you do, and also the people you surround yourself with. When you're stressed out, you need those people that can I don't know, just really take care about you, have fun, you just find enjoyment, that just take you out of that environment that you're stressed about or the idea that you're stressed about, and just put you in a place where you can just enjoy the moment that you're in. I think that's a major one, the people you surround yourself with.
Let me add to that. What if they're the ones distressing you? What do you do?
Oh, then you focus on the things you didn't do. Start busting your dance moves, start busting your crump moves.
Nah, fair enough.
What about you? What are you thinking about that? How do you deal with stress?
Well, to start off with, first of all, accept that you can't avoid stress. You can in certain circumstances, but life is not perfect. So you're always going to get stressed. Things will always happen. Family, friends, if you're married, wife, husband, kids, whatever. Things will always happen. Work. So first of all, accept that there's an issue and that something's stressing you out. Now, try and get away from it. Have a little break from it, right? So, what I do, I don't know, I'll go for a walk, I'll go for a drive, or, listen to something, or watch a movie or whatever. That's how I am. But a lot of people, unfortunately, they, to distract themselves from the stress, they turn to the wrong things. For example, drugs and alcohol, but that just makes it worse.
Don't you reckon that's a good way to forget the pain or forget the stress? Or
yeah, you forget about it temporarily, then it just hits you harder 10 times more later on.
You're not wrong about that.
So I reckon do whatever you can, for example, to find, to distract yourself from the stress from that moment, to have that break, but as long as it's good for you. If it's bad for you, mentally, physically, stay away from it. For example, drinking, smoking, a lot of the things that the people turn to towards these days, stay away from it, because that doesn't give you any benefit. If you're gonna go do something stupid to make yourself feel better, then what does that really say about you as a person? Come on, you're better than that. Yeah. There are other things to be happy. There are other things to make you happy. Don't turn to drugs and alcohol. I'm not coming at people that turn to drugs and alcohol. I really am not. But
it's coming for you, say, get off the drugs.
But I'm just saying, there's different ways for you to go about things. Friends, family, your hobbies, sports, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. That's a nice way to deal with stress.
Yeah. What about you?
Me, just same. I go for runs here and there.
Yeah. Air raid on trophies.
Air raid and talking trophies.
Talking trophies.
It's the best way to do it.
COD.
Oh, you know what I like to do? Sometimes even just jump on COD and just talk smack.
Yeah.
But generally, man, to be honest, whenever I am stressed, I probably go to the mosque and stuff, kick back there.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
That's
a good spot to go to sometimes for me.
Yeah.
Besides that, yeah, man, chill with family. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You know, alhamdulillah, my grandma's still alive, so I visit her
Alhamdulillah.
as much as I can.
Mm.
Just have a laugh with her. You know, you realize how, like how life just goes. You know, she's like 90 years old now almost, and 12 kids later, she's still like smiling, wanting guests to come over. So you're just like, damn, is the stress I'm going through really that important? Am I really gonna care about it in 5 years' time?
Yeah.
So that's one way I do it. Besides that, yeah, man, just enjoy I enjoy the stressful moments, to be honest, because you appreciate being happy later on.
Yeah.
Because you know when you're always happy, you're not going to appreciate the happiness. But
It's
when
not
you're
gonna last
stressed, when you
forever.
think that feeling when you finish an exam, when you finish work and you're going to go on leave, or you go on a holiday overseas, you know, you're chilling overseas on a beach, you're drinking coconut cause some 10-year-old boys bringing you chucking him $5, he goes gets you munchies, you know, like you know when you do that, especially when I traveled, I realized I'm like, yo, this is the feeling, like, you know, like you're on an island jet skiing with your boys, you know, or you're visiting family overseas. You're just like, damn, these moments I wouldn't have appreciated if I was always doing it. But because I'm going through that, you know, like I went through those stressful times. I worked hard for the money or whatever, and I enjoy the holidays. I'm like, God damn, I really appreciated this stressful time, like the hardship I went through.
And I want to add something to that as well. Is when you're dealing with stress, try and focus on the blessings that you have in life. You know, you're alive, you're healthy, you know, you have a roof over your head, you know, your mum and dad are still, you know, around, your family's around.
You're in the best country in the world.
Yeah. Like try and focus on, like, don't let one little, you know, thing, or maybe it can be big, doesn't matter what it is, but don't let that little thing override every other goodness that you have. So
Stress is good. Like, it's actually like, it's not good when you go through it, but like you're only stressing because you care about something. Like when you're going through something, like you might be stressing because like, you know, your parents might be mad at you, but like you're stressing because your parents love you, like, or you're stressing because something about work, like you care about your job. Like when you stress about something, it's because there's genuine care behind that. You don't just stress for no reason. Like, you don't be like, oh, I'm stressing out, like the elevator's taking so long. Like you don't stress about like little things like that. You usually like stress when you actually care about something
Because you invested in it. Yeah.
And going back to the whole, how you said, you know, you live in the best country. When you travel around, have you traveled?
Yeah.
You traveled? Of course you have. When you travel around, you notice, because with me, I was born overseas, right? And I came here when I was 4 or 5 years old. Yeah. So I've been here my whole life. But, you know, I've traveled a lot, and I've been to so many different countries. And you think to yourself, wow, like we're actually very lucky. We're actually very blessed, you know. You know, we got health, we got, you know, education, we got all these resources, we got these opportunities. You go overseas, you know, you see like a 6-year-old, 10-year-old kid, you know, selling stuff on the side of the street because, and that
to
like
make bread for the family, not even for themselves.
Yeah, it's for the family, not even for himself, it's for the family. And you think to yourself like, damn, you know, we're actually very blessed. So how I deal with stress sometimes is I think about the blessings that I already have in my life. Like I said, family, friends, you know, the opportunities that you have. You have a house, you have food on the table, you know, a car. You got all these things. Like, you know, you should be very grateful.
You know what I do when I'm stressed?
Yeah.
To appreciate how grateful I am, I go on Spotify, cause when I chuckle the Australian national anthem, and I just stand there, chuck my hands on my chest. Oh, Australians.
Hand on
but
the
you're
heart.
right, man. You gotta appreciate it. Like once you realize how
Yeah.
blessed we are, man, especially in this Western countries, like despite how hard it is, like there are challenges we experience.
Of course, 100%.
Like let's just say in America, people work 12, 13 hours. You go to UK, there's a similar thing where they're working hard hours.
Yeah.
But they're working hard, you know, not as hard as we. And for example, not in comparison to us, we're pretty chill here in Australia.
We're better
like
than
they
them.
do that just to have the luxuries of life. That you know, the gratefulness. In comparison to a kid in like Africa. I remember when I was there, bro, kids were begging me, bro. It was like, yo, and it was the hardest thing to see. Like imagine me going to my auntie's house. I went there, and this is like a family. They're close family, but they were like relatives we haven't seen in years, and our family haven't spoken to. And just by coincidence, when I was in that city, I saw them. Yeah. You know, and I'm seeing my little cousin. He's my first cousin, and I'm seeing him. I'm like, yo, this kid like looks like he's been wearing the same shirt for like 1 month. Do you know what I mean? So it's crazy how like that happens. But and then you come back here and you're just chilling. You're seeing kids playing downstairs in the park and having a laugh. Hey, chill. But yes,
let him relax there.
Yeah, man. So you just gotta be grateful for what we have here in Australia and our family and our friends. Definitely. Do you wanna You got any last things to say? For your debut of Talking Trophies? Anything you want to promote or?
Thanks for having me on the show. But yeah, just I don't know, just watch the episode properly.
Yeah, watch the whole thing, huh?
No, just look, just a quick recap. Yeah, respect yourself, put yourself first, love yourself. Don't care too much about what other people think, unless they're an important person and you know they're genuine. And last thing, when you're dealing with stress, you know, think about the positives in your life. Think about your blessings in life. Yeah.
Are you doing anything right now that you might want to promote or anything real quick, or do you have anything out there? What's happening? Like,
honestly, I'm pretty boring, bro. I'm not really.
Sharia law must prevail in this nation of Australia.
hey, but for real.
This is probably the point where like only like 5% of our viewers even watch. So if you are still watching, make sure you subscribe. As I said, like, share, and follow our page and support what we're doing.
Comment. We want to see what you think. Let us know what you think.
Let's see what people actually think. You're right about that. And yeah, thanks, Abdifitah. You know, I appreciate you coming through. You know, just even the like how you went about it. You know, message me first. You're like, when you chuck me on the show, I'm like, give me topics. You send me the topics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just the initiative, bro. Shout out to that. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And yeah, besides that, stay humble, faith.